Genesis chapter 41, verse 14 to 57.
We are in what now? Quarter what?
We're in the fourth quarter,
And it is...
and it's one, week 28.
Okay, go ahead.
Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams. Okay, that's the title. Then Pharaoh sent and called. Okay, I'm not starting with verse 1, I'm starting with verse 14, okay? Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they quickly brought him out of the pit. And when he had shaved himself and changed his clothes, he came in before Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have had the dream, and there's no one who can interpret it. I have heard it said of you that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it. Joseph answered Pharaoh, it's not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer. Behold, in my dream I was standing on the banks of the Nile. 7 cows, plump and attractive, came out of the Nile and fed in the reed grass. 7 other cows came up after them, poor and very ugly and thin, such I have never seen in all the...
What is that again? You're eating your words. What is it again? That's right.
Seven other cows came up after them, poor and very ugly and thin,
Very good. You're pronouncing it nicely. Go ahead.
such as I had never seen in all the land of Egypt. And the thin, ugly cows ate up the first 7 plump cows, but when they had eaten them, no one would have known what they had eaten.
Oh, you're rushing.
No one would have known that they had eaten them, for they were still as
You're eating your
For
words.
they were still as ugly as at the beginning. Then I awoke. I also saw in my dream 7 ears growing on one stalk, full and good. 7 ears, withered, thin,
You're
and
eating again. I'm rushing.
7 ears, withered, thin, and blighted by the east wind, sprouted after them, and the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears. And I told it to the magicians, but there was no one who could explain it to me. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, the dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. Oh, so Pharaoh needs help, right?
Yeah.
The 7 good cows are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dreams are one.
Pronounce it nicely.
The 7 lean and ugly cows that came up after the 7 years are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears, blighted by the east wind, are also 7 years of famine. It is
What is that again?
It is as I told Pharaoh. God has shown to Pharaoh what he is about to do. There will come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, but after them there will
Rushing.
But after them there will arise 7 years of famine, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt. Yeah, but thin cows, but physical thin cows cannot eat up fat ones.
Yeah.
Only the spiritual ones, like years. The famine will consume the land, and plenty will be unknown in the land.
What is that again?
And plenty will be unknown in the land by reason of the famine that follow, for it will be very severe. And the doubling of Pharaoh's dream means that the thing is fixed by God, and God will shortly bring it about. Now therefore let Pharaoh select a discerning and wise man and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh proceed to appoint overseers over the land and take 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt during the 7 plentiful years, and let them gather all the food of these good years that are coming.
Rushing. What's that?
The food of these good years that are coming, and store up again under the authority of Pharaoh for food in the cities, and let them keep it. That food shall be a reserve for the land against the 7 years.
Can we pronounce it nicely?
Shall be a reserve for the land against the 7 years of famine that are to occur in the land of Egypt, so that the land may not.
Huh? What is that?
So that the land may not perish through the famine.
Okay, pronounce it nicely so that I can hear you also clearly.
Joseph rises to power. This proposal pleased Pharaoh and all his servants. And Pharaoh said to his servants, "Can you find a man like this in whom is the Spirit of God?" Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Since God has shown you all this, there's none."
Your eyes is too near to your book.
"There's none so discerning and wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and all my people shall order themselves as you command. Only as regards the throne, I will be greater than you." And Pharaoh said to Joseph, "See, I will have set you over all the land of Egypt." Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his hand and put signet ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and they clothed him in garments of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. Whoa. Joseph is the new Pharaoh. And he made him ride his second chariot. And they called out before him, "Bow the knee." Thus he set him over all the land of Egypt. It's a mystery what Egyptian clothes look like. I think scientists haven't got them yet. Moreover, Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your
I cannot hear you clearly.
And without your consent, no one shall lift up hand or foot in the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphenath-Paneah.
What is that again?
Zaphenath-Paneah.
Okay.
Wait, that's what's the meaning of Zaphenath-Paneah? Can you give me a paper to write it down so that I will not forget? Zaphenath. Done. Done. I don't know the meaning of that Egyptian word.
Okay, later we're going to search for that, okay?
Okay.
Okay. What is the word again?
Zaphanath Paneah.
Okay.
And he gave him in marriage Asenath, the daughter of
I cannot hear you clearly.
Asenath, and he gave him in the marriage Asenath, and the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. So Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service.
What is that again?
Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. But can I say something? There are not only one Pharaoh. Can I say something
Go ahead.
that it's not his real name?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many names for you know that he's just called like that because Pharaoh means king.
Okay, very good. Continue.
You don't know that?
I know that.
And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went through all the land of Egypt. During the 7 plentiful years, the earth produced abundantly, and he gathered up all the food of these 7 years, which occurred in the which occurred in the land of Egypt, and he put food in the cities. He put in every city
I cannot hear you clearly.
He put in every city the food from the fields around it. And Joseph stored up grain in abundance like the sand of the sea until he ceased to measure it, for it could not be measured. Before the year of famine came,
What is that again?
Before the year of famine came, 2 sons were born to Joseph. Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, bore them to him. Joseph called the name of
Where are we spelling again?
of the firstborn Manasseh.
What is that again?
Manasseh.
Okay.
For he had said, God has made me forget all my hardship and all my father's house. The name of the second he called Ephraim.
What F?
Ephraim.
Okay.
For God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. These 7 years of plenty that occurred in the land of Egypt to an end, and the 7 years of famine began to come. As Joseph said, there was a famine on all the lands, but in the land of Egypt there was bread. When all the people cried to Pharaoh for bread, Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, "Go to Joseph. What he says to you, do." So when the famine had spread over all the land, Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold to the Egyptians, for the famine was so severe in the land of Egypt. Well, famine may never happen again.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, all the earth came to Egypt to Joseph to buy grain because the famine was severe over all the earth. I think different kinds of bread were sold in Egyptian times. Maybe some breads I don't like.
Maybe. You done?
Yes, sorry, because it's too long, okay?
Okay. Can you tell me what it's all about in your own understanding? Can you tell me what you understand?
Before, famines were meant to come, but now,
About the dreams.
the dreams of Pharaoh are that some thin cows, something brown, ugly cows, ate up the good fat white cows. You know, like the good ears ate up the ugly rotten ear. The you know that the good ears were eaten by the rotten ears.
So what it does mean?
So it means it's not physical. It's actually 7 years of famine and 7 years of plentiness.
Okay. What happened to Joseph then?
He stored all the bread and then after storing all the bread he sold it to everyone all over the world.
And what happened? He
Uh,
became what?
he became famous.
He became what?
He's the prince. He became the prince of Egypt.
Okay. What did Pharaoh do to Joseph?
Pharaoh did not hurt him. Pharaoh respects him, but yes. Pharaoh was good before, but there was a time that